Hi, beautiful people. I greatly appreciate all of your patience. We are good to go now. Things are back in order. I am the star. Yeah, we're back, baby. So, let me get the game music back on. Hold on. Nah, tutorials. What am I doing? Preferences. Enable sound. Boom. All right, you know what that means. We are on our way to Nar Shaddaa. It shouldn't take us too long. And it's definitely if I don't get sidetracked like I did yesterday. Yesterday I was a bit of a mess. I was a little all over the place.
Ah, apprentice. You've reached Nar Shaddaa safely. Good. Don't let the glittering towers fool you. Misery and desperation rule the slums below. And desperation can drive people to many things. Remember that in your attempts to recover the artifact here.
Recover it from where?
Any idea where I should start?
In this case, the who is more important than the where. The artifact, a pendant called the Eye of Tulac, belongs to the Sith Lord Palladius. He's lived here many years, converting Nar Shaddaa's poor and suffering into zealous followers. His own cult.
Oh, impressive.
He sounds like a very cunning man. I admire that.
Cunning, devious, persuasive, yes, and atrociously stubborn. Palladius leads his cult from seclusion, but you can draw him out. I've contacted 2 of his former cult members. They're in hiding now, fearing retribution, but hungry for revenge. They should prove useful.
I don't need them.
I prefer to work alone, Master.
Don't discount them. They have information, and they're eager to oppose Palladius.
Okay.
I have encouraged their cooperation with the assurance that once Palladius is gone, the cult is theirs to lead. Circumstances change, of course. Do whatever you feel is necessary with Palladius and his cult. The artifact is all that matters.
Fair. More nerfs for the zap. Indeed. Got 2 upgrades. All right, I'll take it. And I think 2 pieces that just went straight to equip because they were empty slots. Yeah, relics. Nice. And an earpiece, I think. We are doing good. No, I'm good. What the quests have been giving me has been great. Like, it's keeping up with the storyline. And so is my XP progression. Like, I'm leveling at a good pace. Oh, right. Hello everybody and welcome back for another episode of Star Wars The Old Republic, Sith Inquisitor. And today, we're on to Nar Shaddaa. 10 is... No! My poor guy. 3 days, brothers. 3 days. And the world will be right again. I hope we didn't lose Tuber forever. It was a longer break than expected, but it's okay. Meet the Destrus Varan. With Destrus Varan. Excuse me. Lizard? Yes, lizard. Oh, speaking of... Can I go up in piloting skill? No, not until 25. Got it.
Vehicle pads are currently open for business.
To the promenade. Might have to do some more Datacron hunting tonight. After this is done. The big casino, indeed. With the giant, disgusting hut statue, yes. Alrighty. Let's talk, Destrus. Oh my god, I need to get the Datacrons too. Man. You have so many things to do.
Dear brutish Destrus. And Rylee. So beautiful and intelligent. You were like children to me, which is why it pains me to do this.
What?
You can cut the act, Palladius. You never cared about any of your children.
We don't need a tyrant for a father.
Ah, well said. Marvelous last words. Truly, I expected nothing less, which is what makes this so hard. Now, if you'll excuse me. My other children would like to play with you.
Oh. Straight to the action. I love it. Like,
what have we here? The cavalry looks like. Appreciate the help, but I had it under control.
Chagasar Chais in Barks Prize war Tyren Swase Ik Bus Karadida.
Easy, Destrus. This isn't some holo you're talking to.
respect me or he will eat him. Basically is what he said. She's right to bow, Destrus.
You would be wise to follow her lead.
Course, my lord. Sorry. There was a lady Sith a while back, Darth Zash. Said she'd send someone to help us out. You it?
It would be a pleasure.
Taking down oppressive cult leaders is a favorite hobby of mine.
Good, because it makes me sick to think Palladius is out there while I'm cooped up in this rat hole.
Palladius built his empire on the backs of the poor. Said he'd save them from their miserable lives.
Oh yeah?
Said we'd make a mighty sword and strike against our enemies? It was all lies. It was all lies. But you win the support of the poor, you knock Palladius's legs out from under him.
Any suggestions?
How do I win the love of these poor downtrodden souls?
What Palladius did was find the biggest, most vicious gang on the block and crush them. Right now, the gang's the Crates, named after the Crate Dragon on Tatooine. Their leader, Sabin, thinks he's descended from one. Take out Sabin, and the masses will see you as a regular hero.
You know, I feel like Doug Bradley should have done the voice for the Inquisitor. Just, I have such sights to show you. Is that really a solution?
And when another gang rises to take the Crate's place?
You're right. Taking out the
It would have been
Crate's
perfect.
followers only.
But he
until
was
the
also
next
perfect
king
as the
raises
Emperor.
up. But there may be another way. A plague called the Rot afflicts the poorest of Nar Shaddaa's poor. But it can be cured, and the person who does so will be regarded not just as a hero, but as a prophet.
Tell me how.
What exactly does this entail?
The cure to the Rot is owned by Titus Neutronics. You'll have to steal it from their warehouse, then distribute it.
Daniel Quinn, thank you. Thank you for subscribing if you're here. Or if you're watching this back. Appreciate you. That puts me at 619. Very cool. Love you guys. Alright. Gang busting is more my style. I'd rather murder people.
I think I'll stick with the killing.
The direct approach. I like it. The Crate's lair is in the Corellian sector. Crush their leader, and the masses will take notice.
Easy. Easy peasy. You know what I wish? I wish, like, analytics-wise, it would tell me what video, like, when it tells me I have a new subscriber, what were they watching when they subscribed? I would like to know, so I can replicate. A descendant of darkness. I mean, they're very Cenobite-like. I remember I went on a huge, like, binge of freaking Hellraiser movies, and it was just a shame. It was a shame what happened to that series. Just went downhill.
Vehicle pads are currently open for business.
Yeah. Neck is sore, but that's alright. Oh, I need to check how the invasion's doing. Nope. L. Yeah! We hit it, everybody. I'm almost at 200,000 on Mordic. Beautiful. Why does Hellraiser sound familiar? It's Pinhead, guy with all the nails in his head. He's also the voice actor for the Emperor, Darth Vitiate, or Tenebris. I've mentioned it before.
Afgudan Heifst.
It's nice to use the saber every once in a while. And what's cool is Hellraiser has like a really cool lore behind it in the comics. But you don't get to see it a whole lot in the movies. Like, Hell is a really cool place in the Hellraiser universe. But you don't see a whole lot of it. You do a couple times, but not to its full extent. And not to mention, there's like factions within the Cenobite, amongst the Cenobites. And they actually go to war with each other sometimes. Sabin. You have to kill him. There we go. He's done.
My lord, I wanted to apologize for Destrus earlier. He was out of line.
Don't worry about it.
No need to apologize, and no need to call me Lord.
I confess, I was
Whoa.
worried when Destrus...
That was a little weird. Not really where I wanted that to go. No.
My lord, I
I guess, I love it when you grovel.
At least one of you knows her place.
I have a great deal of respect for you. I just wanted you to know that. You radiate a power that Palladius, for all his ranting and demanding, never did.
Do you like it?
Do you find that power attractive?
I don't know. It's terrifying. Anyway, if we
Same
want to
thing.
make a stab at taking over Palladius' cult, we need a real headquarters. Somewhere you can speak, hold meetings. I hope you don't mind, but I took the liberty of finding a place.
You're strangely helpful.
This wouldn't be a ploy to outplay Destrus for my favor.
I'm sorry. I thought the Sith smiled on ambition, but in any case, I was only trying to help. The place is called the Strel House, for a charity worker named Dakin Strel. The people look to him as a leader. He's been dead nearly a decade, but his name still means something. And I thought it couldn't hurt to have his name associated with yours.
You're right.
A well-known location can't hurt either.
I'd considered that as well. It's both well-known and accessible.
What happened, Tannis? What happened? Please tell me no bad news. It's saying your payment failed on the what? Ugh. I'm so sorry, sir.
Welcome. Please select an available travel route.
Trust me, it gets better. But I hope that you are able to resolve this. It's very unfortunate. Are you the Sith they call the Great Dragon? The one they say has his eye on Lord Palladius' cult? Where should I tell you?
That's not yours to know.
I just wanted to make sure I had the right person before I kill you. Why do so many people think they can oppose my master? Perhaps he'll provide a challenge. With most of these whelps, it's over too quickly. Don't worry.
I'll try not to disappoint.
I don't know what it is you Sith believe, but maybe you'll find someone on the other side to explain it to you. Now let's not make this too quick, shall we? Not gonna go well for him, see? Look at that. Dead. Crispy.
That was Garnock. You defeated Palladius' right-hand man.
Yeah.
You should hear it. They're calling you the Great Dragon after how you did in Sabin.
Perfect.
Look what I found outside.
My lord, for getting Sabin off our backs and the crates off our streets, we humbly present you with this gift.
Wonderful.
I love getting gifts.
We are honored to serve you, my lord.
Isn't this great? Kill one gang leader and already you got Palladius scared and people lining up with presents.
Hey.
No time for celebrating, Destrus. Palladius isn't resting. He's called a big meeting at Meridian Hall. If we don't act, he'll rally his cult and stop our whole operation dead.
He must be stopped.
He cannot be allowed to continue.
This is our chance.
His cult's becoming
just
my
go
cult.
in, make a big show, and boom.
It's gonna take more than a show, Destrus. We need to show that you have more power in your little finger than Palladius has in his... Wait, I've got it! It's a crazy idea, but what if you showed that you could move the city itself? Make a ground-quake?
A ground-quake?
How would I even do that?
It is a long shot, but it might be the only shot we got.
What have you been putting in your soup, Rylee? Nobody can just make this moon shake.
Stick with me here. You know the gas pipes that run under Meridian Hall? Well, what if we blow up those pipes?
Whoa, you got brains, girl. I know just the guy to set it up. Gord Maydell in the Nar Shaddaa Works Administration. Takes bribes on the side.
The works.
We'll rig you something up, no problem.
Does it better work?
Your life depends on this, Destrus.
Gord works at the NSWA office in the Duros sector. Not far from Meridian Hall, where Palladius is holding his big broadcast. You just tell him old Destrus sent you.
Alright. Premium field tech versatile stim. Alright. I'll take it. It's a nice gift. Gord Maydell's office. Could just teleport. It's fine. Guess I'll retry in the morning, and if it still doesn't work, I'll call the bank in the morning. Yeah, fair enough.
Welcome. Please select an available travel route.
Yeah, it's a real bummer, man. I'm sorry. Yeah. Gotta leave room for Jesus in our lives. Okay, here we are. Phallus lizard. Wait, left. He didn't discover? Or is it because I'm mounted? It could be because I'm mounted. Yeah, it is. Alright. 22. It's a hell of a run. I feel like Nar Shaddaa did not take this long on the consular. Just saying.
Jukaki mem panino. Am kabina bek memno kimgam. Kampu jakinano. Ki nama am kabina wam karak.
Kikuna mo. Uban chone alipa. Istin koto.
Baraka kemyu am kam nemno. Namgan bak umnok kijak. Laporam amga. Mamni nikag. Nagnaya mamni kamgam.
Work with me or else.
Obey or perish.
Umnuk inu memno. Amka kam mem perolak palak memua pemguana. Kumia yang mem gamba paka. Bomogala apayang. Nelama ini amka amga.
Good answer.
It's so much more fun for me when you refuse.
Manalang yang perlo. Amka kalami nayakira lebua. Memyuka hal krama. Niknoga nalalu memnola.
What? Oh, hello, Joshua. Welcome back. But what? That's ridiculous. I think I'm gonna have to start doing what Zach's doing with the events. That seems to notify you guys better. I'm gonna have to try that next time. Not this.
Do you still hope to win?
Mami lebik bak manuk. Maraka naja ki nam yapamyak. Memua pemguana. Kumia yang mem gamba paka.
Oh boy.
A signaling device. You shouldn't have.
Norebe amgin. Yam hamgan kam kalam.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that's about.
Ganam. Bagiyang. Manik hikupukam.
Alright. Infiltrate Palladius's rally. Can do. Wait, what am I doing? Just teleport. Would have been a hell of a long run. Yeah, it's not the best.
Welcome. Please select an available travel route.
No, oh, this is gonna be a long flight. Shit. Alright, well. How's my galactic seasons going? I got points somewhere. Probably from the influence of the galaxy, yeah. I need to read Phalanx out for... We're gonna have to do that after this episode. For the rest of the stream, it's gonna be probably doing the bring you phalanx out for points. Defeat the colossal monolith on any difficulty. Oh, that's a operation. Another hell of a run. Anyways, aside from you two being a female dog, I am curious how well the move went. Oh, it went quite well. So I'm already in my new studio. It's also going to double as our workout room. Currently, it is in a state of disarray because I mainly unpacked things, but I haven't really been able to put them away exactly. But I did get a stream set up together, and we are live. Other than that, our microwave was DOA, so we're getting that replaced Monday. And then, thankfully, we had one of our coworkers gave us a microwave to hold us over for the time being. The stove took some learning because we've never used a gas stove, but it works really well. It's nice. As far as the paint job and like the drywall, it all looks pretty dang good after the blue tape walkthrough. I haven't really had any issues with the house. Everything seems to be working properly, except for that microwave. But it took three U-Haul trips. I vastly underestimated how much shit we had. So that was fun. And then, not to mention, I don't know if you remember, but on the 18th and like the 19th, it was miserably fucking hot. Like 97 out and like 73% humidity. Yeah, I am knocking on wood for sure. I don't need more issues to deal with. But I don't have grass in my backyard, unfortunately. So I do need to, probably next weekend, till it up, put some soil down, put some sod on it.
As well as the strong, and that is power. For too long, the weak of Nar Shaddaa have grown soft in the luxury of their towers, while the strong have wallowed in chains. And I tell you, united, there is no law that can stop you.
Really?
Take back what is yours.
That's cute.
Yeah!
Boo!
But I like the weak.
There are those who would tell you lies, who spread rumors and false promises. Already some among you are lost, having chosen the path of weakness. But you must shun this false messenger. The weak fear your growing strength, and have sent him to break it.
Show me your strength.
What makes you worthy of leading such a strong people, Palladius?
Ah, the deceiver shows his face. Behold, my children. Look how pathetic.
Half of it.
How easily crushed by your collective might.
Palladius is nothing.
The very ground you stand on responds to my will. Can Palladius do this?
What kind of power is this? The world is ending.
Don't be fooled! It's a trick! Attack the deceiver! Attack!
Come on. Clearly, oh my god. So many of y'all. No. Ah. Push me, I push you. There.
My lord, what happened? How did you...
Oh my god.
We never met anybody who could do what you did.
I know.
Not Lord Palladius, not anybody.
Are you looking to convert?
If you wish to serve me, go to the Strel house. My servants will see that you are brought into the fold.
The Strel house? A good place. That Dagon Strel was a good man.
But before you send us away, share your wisdom and strength with
Hello,
us,
Zany Bear.
so we can serve you.
I am doing quite well. And I would say the state of SWTOR right now, it's not horrible. I don't go a day playing this game without seeing a good group of people around, especially in the fleet. and Droman Koss. However, I am sensing frustrations with the content that's coming out with the game. And apparently there's a whole swath of people out there who would really love to play this game, but will not do it unless it's on console, which is unfortunate because I don't think this game's coming to console anytime soon. I am very hopeful that we eventually get a Star Wars The Old Republic 2, but I don't think it's gonna happen. And the next expansion coming up, like, I'm worried it's just gonna be lackluster. It's not gonna be that great. I'm worried. We'll see how it goes. I want to see if they're gonna, add more, as much content as McKeb did back then. Like, the Rise of the Hutt Cartel had a lot of content with it. These days, it seems to be like drip feeding to us, and that could be to the size of the. A lot of people would play on console for sure. And what I find unfortunate is that, like, they took it from BioWare and gave it to Broadsword. And Broadsword's definitely doing some stuff from, like, a technical standpoint. Like, they're working on textures, working on the aesthetics. However, I don't know how far they're going to be pushing the story, and I don't know how innovative they're going to be with systems going forward. I haven't seen a whole lot of a difference with Legacy of the Sith. It's kind of almost the same as it was an expansion ago. But I don't know. I will like being on the ground level of 8.0 later this year, and I look forward to seeing how that plays out. Yeah, Onslaught. Like, I remember playing Onslaught, and then I came back here in Legacy of the Sith, and I was like, it's kind of samey, But they are also struggling with getting voice actors, which is a problem. And not really for English, from what I can tell, but for I think it was German and some other language. I can't remember. Bring me presents.
I want to wear robes of solid gold.
Just as crazy as Palladius.
Yeah.
Shut your mouth before the Sith fries us.
You heard the Sith. Pass the hat around and don't be stingy.
Huh. It's not really enough for a solid gold anything. But it's all we've got, at least until we find more followers.
Fools.
If I find out that even one of you kept a single credit for himself, you will all suffer.
Yes, my lord. I'm sure no one would be so greedy as that. We'll go find more converts, rich ones. You'll get your robes, my lord. Promise.
Yeah, it's not a whole lot. But to be fair, I haven't played much of the story for Legacy of the Sith. I played some of Onslaught. Right now, I'm mainly playing through all of the base storylines for all of the classes because I never did before. When I originally played the game at launch, I went heavy into the Sith Warrior, and that was like all I did. I remember I made a bounty hunter. I don't remember shit about the story. I made a Sith Inquisitor. I don't remember shit about that story. So I'm basically, for myself and the channel, refreshing myself on all of the story. And once I do it for all of the classes, I'll be moving on to Ilum, and then Rise of the Hutt Cartel, and step by step throughout the rest of the games, rest of the expansions and stuff like that. But yeah, that's what it's looking like. So right now, because I'm doing 2 classes at a time, right now I'm doing Consular and Inquisitor. It's a little slower. It's about 15 weeks for both of them to get finished together. But after that, Ilum and the expansions, since the storylines don't seem to deviate very much based on your class, I'm just gonna do one character to do all of those. So those will go out, since I do 2 episodes a week, those will go out a lot faster. Favorite class story so far? Surprisingly, it is still the Sith Warrior. I just love it too damn much. As much as I do like the others, Jedi Consular is dry and painful, but Smuggler was a lot of fun. I liked becoming a pirate king at the end. That was a good touch. Second so far, I think I think it's Inquisitor. No, Agent. Agent was a lot of fun. Oh, only one mission for Shadow of Revan? I will plan for that. Thank you. But I did play Shadow of Revan when it came out, and I loved the story on that one. Actually, story-wise, like, all of the expansions are pretty decent. I can't say I can complain about any of them. Rise of the Hutt Cartel wasn't like my was one of probably my least favorite just because of the content it was based on, but it was still well-written story. It was just I don't care about Hutts that much. Yeah, and that's what would usually happen for me until I started the channel. I would come back to it for a month, knock out the new content, and be like, all right, I'm done. I'm not going to do operations. I'm not going to go chasing world bosses. I'm good. Like, that was it. I think there was one point where the way gear worked is like every boss in a flashpoint would drop something that's better than what you were currently wearing. Pick a slot. If you had a piece of 200 rating gear in it, it would give you a piece of 203 or something like that until eventually you got all the way up to legendary pieces. I did that on one character and was like, okay, I'm good. And I took a break for another few years. This, I would say, not just because of the channel, but like my interest in the game is a lot stronger than it used to be. The channel is definitely a part of that though. And I'm really enjoying myself right now. And I've been going at this for 2 years now? Between the last four series, I should say, and just streams in between that. Yeah, having a good time. I did have a couple breaks in there, but nowhere near as long as my breaks used to be. Dark Side Republic is hilarious. Oh man, and I don't even remember much from that expansion. That's why I'm greatly looking forward to doing all of it over again.
Welcome. Please select an available travel route.
And I think once I start getting more settled in with the new house, because Zadie, I did just move into a new house like last weekend. I'm getting set back up here and getting operations ready. I might pick up voice acting the aliens again because I have equipment for that. That is very helpful. And a little more time on my hands. So we'll see about that. Oh, hands down. And don't get me wrong, I love World of Warcraft. I was in a World of Warcraft coma for a very long time. But as far as delivery of story, you can't beat this game. Absolutely not. I mean, just the fact that they voice acted every single quest in the game was incredibly impressive back then.
Sith, will you look at this place? Dagon Strel himself couldn't generate this kind of crowd, and neither can Palladius anymore from the looks of it.
Bow, fool.
Aren't you forgetting something?
Yes, my lord. I'm sorry.
My lord, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. They said they'd kill me. They said they'd kill me if I didn't.
You must pay.
This is no place for cowards.
Sith, did you have to kill him?
Yes. Don't question me.
Keep your moral squeamishness to yourself.
Yes, my lord. Now what's this thing he brought?
It looks like a hollow device. Let's see here.
Ah, Sith. Good evening. How good to talk to you again. I'm sorry to use such an unconventional method to contact you, but I had to be sure you got the message. You understand?
What's the message?
You have my attention. For now.
Wonderful. You see, I've had a bit of a revelation. When you first attacked my cult, I took it very personally. And then I realized you're Zash's apprentice. All this trouble is just about some silly artifact. Let's let bygones be bygones, hmm? We can meet at my place, in network access. We'll chat. I'll give you the artifact, and all will be mended.
Yeah, Tannis, I agree. So Zadie, if you're talking about retail World of Warcraft, I completely understand it. It's really hard to get stuck into WoW retail right now. It's just not as good as Classic was, or you know, the first 3 expansions were. If you play WoW Classic, I have a very strong feeling you would get addicted to it, because everything was slower paced and you spent more time with your characters, and you actually had to read your quests. There was no markers on the map to direct you where to go. Like, you actually had to figure shit out. And it was so much better than just being, I go to the question mark. Oh, I need to kill stuff in the area it's telling me to on the map. Why? I don't know. I didn't read the quest. Like, it feels, I hate that about modern WoW. If this game didn't have narration or voice acting in its quests, I probably wouldn't like it. I would probably end up doing the same thing. Just go to the question mark, go to the question mark, go to the question mark. Finish the quest fast as possible. Rush to the end of the game. But with how well directed and written the storyline is in this game, you are severely hobbling yourself and just missing out if you do not indulge in the stories in this game. I did too. And you know, that's actually when I had my first falling out with World of Warcraft, was Cataclysm. That was when I had my first break. I didn't come back until Mists of Pandaria, I think it was. And it was the tail end of Mists of Pandaria. I liked Cataclysm for the fact that it was opening up new areas on the existing continents. And I played through those areas, and then after that, I was just like, all right, I'm not really worried about raiding in this expansion. I'm not worried about doing PvP. The dungeons are okay. Yeah, I'm done. Like, it was the first time I hit that wall. And then I went on a huge Borderlands spree after that. Mists of Pandaria was okay. It wasn't the best. It was better than Cata, though. No tricks or I'll kill you.
I'm not one of your meek little cultists. You lie, you pay.
I promise. No tricks, or may I die creditless on Tatooine scrubbing a Jedi's back.
Ew.
Take time to consider my offer, but not too long, or my good mood may sour.
Morgans were cool, yeah.
And bring your friends.
When the Alliance finally got a cool-looking race.
You're not seriously considering it, are you?
Do not
listen to the little coward. We will devour this Sith, my master. We must face Palladius.
I'm going, Destrus, and you're coming with me.
You can get yourself killed if you want, but I didn't keep out of Palladius's reach this long just to walk into his grip.
No, don't you see? Sure, it's probably a trap, yes, but this is our chance to strike at him.
Fine, but I'm going in with both eyes open.
Okay, won't matter. Just burn them out of your skull if there's a problem. It's funny, because they get so sassy with the Inquisitor when he's already shocked them how many times. It's like, you're playing with fire, my friend. Am I done? Meet Palladius at his sanctuary. Is his sanctuary in the Shadow Town area? If it is, that means we are almost done on this planet.
Welcome.
Everything ends in Shadow Town. Yeah. Yeah. With a network access. In my opinion, Gilneas is the best opening. Then it'd be probably Silver Pine Forest. Yeah. It did have a good opening. It was very cinematic. I like that. So what's my favorite planet? Oh. Okay. Surprisingly, it's between two. Tython and Korriban. Tython wasn't on the list up until recently. The past week or so, I was reading Dawn of the Jedi, the comics and the novel, and I was like, oh, this is really fucking cool. But basically, Tython was where all of, like, where the first Jedi Order was established, and it was actually meant to be a perfect balance between light side and dark side on that planet, rather than being a light side faction like the Jedi are. And that was a lot of fun. But I also like the Korriban. I also like Korriban because it's just a nexus of dark side energy. And exploring the tombs in Knights of the Old Republic and Knights of the Old Republic 2 was like some of the most fun I had in those games. So they left a really like lasting impression on me. I remember when I got this game at launch, I had it pre-ordered. I got the box set, everything. And when I first flew in on Korriban, I lost my shit. It was gorgeous to me. I was like, oh God, how are they gonna make it look? Is it gonna be amazing, or are they gonna mess it up? And then I was like, it's beautiful. It's everything I needed it to be. So definitely Korriban is probably my number one, actually. And then Tython is a very close second. Howdy.
Sith, Destron, Rachel, I'm so glad you've come. You have made a wonderful decision.
Rachel.
Can I offer you anything? A drink?
Wrong names.
And don't mind Varnock and Sharnock. They never leave my side.
It really is beautiful. Just the artifact.
You know exactly what you can offer me.
So confident. So amazingly confident. But I dare say you've gravely underestimated me.
Oh God, what is it?
That painful twisting you feel in your gut is your essence draining rather rapidly. And that hollow, sinking feeling? Your connection to the Force being severed. Soon, you will be no more powerful than little Denton here, or Ramona.
Okay, that's a tough question. Because that one's tied also with two planets for two completely different reasons. I would, if I had to pick a number one, Terrace. If you watch the rest of my series, you'll understand why. But the TLDR is, why the hell are we trying to save this planet? The rat ghouls are just getting worse and worse every time we see them. Malik didn't do enough. We should finish it. Case closed. Dennis, you called it. I didn't even notice that. Oh, that's great. The other planet would have been Nar Shaddaa. Just because I hate the aesthetic of it. I can't stand the armpit scum and villainy planet that it is. Ugh. Coruscant is almost as bad. Death is too easy.
For that, you will suffer.
Damn it. I was hoping you would still be able to do it.
Not so powerful anymore, are we?
Saber. Saber. Son of a bitch. Saber!
Greater Sith than you have fallen before me. Did you think you were the first to try and steal my cult?
Kem, eat it.
I could choke the life out of you right now, but
Kem.
Since you seem so very eager, let's settle this with lightsabers.
Kem. You will eat good, my friend. Attaboy. I suddenly have my lightning back, if we notice that.
What? How is this possible? You're stronger than any I've faced. Oh, forgive me, my lord. Take the artifact. Just let me live and carry on the cult in your name.
I hate to break it to you, Palladius, but Darth Zash promised the cult to us. You're done.
You're very trusting, Destrus. But surely my lord sees the advantage of leaving the cult in my hands.
No.
Think of what I could accomplish on your behalf.
No.
My lord, please. Can Palladius really be trusted?
No, he must die.
Killing you will be such fun.
I have such sights to show you.
Well, that was every bit as satisfying as I expected.
I vote
Your
Doug
debt,
Bradley.
Rylee and me.
For Sith Inquisitor.
Only the thing is, everyone in the cult looks up to you now.
I don't care.
I got what I wanted out of the bargain. You figure out how to run the cult.
Yes, my lord. I'm sure we'll figure something out. I guess I should go rally the cultists before they lose their fervor. Thanks again.
Yes, thank you, Sith. We'd still be hiding in that hole if it weren't for you.
Fair enough. Back to the ship. Charge my phone. Alright. Holo terminal.
I managed to obtain the artifact from Lord Palladius.
And you gained your own cult in the process, or so I hear. You are quickly becoming quite the cunning Sith.
That's what I do. Least fun class, in my opinion.
Listen to me. I cannot linger long. It takes too much out of me to appear here. But I must warn you. Your master, Darth Zash, is plotting something. Whatever it is can mean nothing good for you.
I had the least fun playing Power Tech. What happens to Ilum is a travesty, and I think it's getting retconned, as it should be. I'm unstoppable.
I killed Scotia. I'm not afraid of Zash.
Do not become arrogant. I have seen Zash making her preparation. She's taken 2 new apprentices, a boy named Carl and a girl named Corin. She's been sending them into the Dark Temple, presumably to confirm that I am gone.
What? Apprentices?
Zash has other apprentices.
Yes. I assume they are meant to replace you. I considered killing these intruders, but I heard them speak of Zash and her desire that the chamber be secure for her work. Soon enough, Zash herself appeared. She comes every day now, studying the place and performing rituals. You are in danger.
Alright, Zany, I'm gonna need you to sit down. Yeah, what Tannis said. Starkiller base from Force Awakens that was destroyed at the end of the movie was Ilum. Bastards. I really hope it gets retconned. Exactly. And then, after it gets destroyed, they named that space in the location where the planet was is now named Solo. Named after Han. And I'm like, why? They thought it was a good idea because it was similar to A New Hope. Problem was, they trampled over so much history to make it happen, which sucks. Ah, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you for warning me.
Zash has taught you, crafted you to be everything she needs you to be. Zash knows your weaknesses. You must prepare yourself. An enterprising Sith Lord on Korriban has uncovered a piece of my old armor, my mask.
Oh.
It will protect you against Zash's onslaught. The Sith Lord's compound overlooks the tombs. Go, claim it. Guard yourself against Zash's attack.
As you say.
I am most grateful.
I cannot guarantee when I will be able to speak with you again. As I said, it is difficult for me to visit you. But I will continue to watch over my chamber in the temple, conserving my energy for when I learn something more.
Yeah. But from what I understand, Jon Favreau, I think Jon Favreau has already replaced Kathleen Kennedy. No, Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni replaced Kathleen Kennedy as president of Lucasfilm. And I believe him and Jon Favreau are working very hard to retcon those 3 movies. Possibly even making it to be like, they're going to use the way between worlds to basically say, oh, that was an alternate timeline and it was a bad timeline. If so-and-so actually made this decision, which we think is the better decision to make, so we're going to make it happen, we get a whole new storyline that didn't disrespect everything that came before it. Totally here for it. I'm not usually the person who's like, do an alternate timeline to fix everything. But in this case, please do that. That is exactly what I do. Anytime I look up anything for reference, it's in Legends. I don't look at current canon on Wikipedia because it's only gonna make me angry. Okay, so that's it for Nar Shaddaa. The beginning of the next episode will be on Korriban. We actually might have a short episode on Monday for both. this character and the consular as they do this kind of intermission section after the first 2 planets. These episodes will be coming out soon. Next week, it's the episodes for Consular and Inquisitor. It's their first episode, so Consular will be going through all of Tython. Mordic will be going through all of Korriban. So, for all of you watching right now on the video, have a wonderful morning, day, evening, and good night, and I will see you all in the next video. For those of you on the stream, we are not done. They could have done the Yuzan Vong War, and it would have been sick. They still can! They still can. They can fix it. I think Disney wants to. Because guess something very interesting they just did. They just canonized by creating figures. Jason and Jaina! Exactly! They just made figures for Jason and Jaina, which now canonizes them. So the twins exist now. Also, Christopher Wickman. Hello, welcome to the stream. How are you? For the rest of tonight's stream, I actually am going to be pushing Conquest. Glad to hear it, sir. I have to bring Phalanx out as my companion, because that's what's gonna get me Conquest points. Or Galactic what's it called? Galactic Seasons Progress. Yes. Finished your SI class story earlier today. Nice. Yeah, I'm looking forward to finishing that one. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Darth Cadus, Darth Crate, yeah. There's a whole bunch of people they haven't done that could fix things, that could just make everything feel better. Including Darth Talon, yes. Is that the game security set? No, that's Mithrin. What's the game security pants look like? Oh, nice. And there's the boots, yeah. We'll get the rest of that set together. It's spread out across a few characters. It's okay. I'll get them all together at some point. Okay, companions and contacts. I need Phalanx.
You're lost.
There you are. All right. Darth Cannabis. You know, that would be hilarious. I would love to see that. Maybe a Darth Bane TV series, Path of Destruction, was such a good story. That would be good. I would like to see them do a prequel to KOTOR 2 with the Triumvirate, with Kreia, Scion, and Nihilus. That could be a lot of fun. Because it sounded like they had a really cool story based on their flashbacks in KOTOR 2. Gonna pick up some of these, get these knocked out. I'm not gonna do the LM1 this time. I need to quit torturing myself with that one. Drum and Cost, we always go through that one. Start with Friends of Old. No, that's not the one. Red Engine, there we go. Yeah, it would be. But like, you could do a really amazing scene of Nihilus eating the Miralucan planet. Like, that would be fantastic. Rise of the Triumvirate, yeah. It even has an awesome name. Man, how about a story like 1,000 years after Return of the Jedi, where a Sith temple is discovered by a group of Darksiders who are attempting to bring back the Sith Order, and new heroes rise to stop it. Yeah, that's also another good possible plot. Is Kreia an XR War veteran like Scion or Nihilus? I don't know. That is a good question. Was Kreia involved with the XR Kun War? No, not directly involved in the XR Kun War. Her primary history of the Star Wars expanded centers around the later Mandalorian Wars of the Jedi Civil War, known as the Great Sith War. Okay, so wait, where did the Great Sith War fall in the timeline? During the Exar Kun War, Kreia was an active Jedi Master and historian. While she did not participate in this conflict, the massive philosophical features of the Jedi during this area and the fallout of the Jedi falling to the dark side like Exar Kun deeply troubled her and influenced her evolving teachings. Her actual era, the Mandalorian Wars, she was a Jedi Master whose students, including Revan, left the Order to fight the Mandalorians. Her refusal to condemn Revan's actions led to her being exiled by the Jedi Council. This forced exile is what ultimately led her journey into the dark side and her creation of the Sith Triumvirate. Cal needs to be dead by the end of his games, otherwise, where was he during OT? Original trilogy? Yeah, that's true. And I feel like that's likely to be the case. Scion. Let's look up Scion real quick. He's one of my favorite Sith too. Early life, Scion started as a Sith marauder fighting in Exar Kun's Sith Empire during the Great Sith War. Becoming the Lord of Pain, after suffering mortal wounds in battle, Scion discovered he could cheat death. By funneling his hatred, anger, and excruciating pain through the dark side, he could hold his battered body together beyond its natural limits. The Sith Triumvirate. He eventually joined forces with Darth Traya, his former master, and Darth Nihilus to form the Sith Triumvirate, leading brutal purges that brought the Jedi Order to the brink of extinction. During the events of KOTOR 2, Scion was tasked with hunting down Mitra Surik. Over successive encounters, the exile's resilience and her ability to evoke feelings of respect and vulnerability in Scion caused his hateful resolve to waver. In their final duel on Malachor 5, the exile convinced Scion to finally let go of his hatred, allowing his tortured spirit to peacefully pass on. Yeah, he was. Could you imagine? Well, I mean, yeah, he's probably going to kill Cal. But when I read that, Tannis, I read, imagine Vader killing Scion. Like, imagine Scion just kept fueling his body with hatred all the way up to the OT. It gets taken down by Vader. Could you imagine? That'd be hilarious. Too angry to die, for real. I mean, that's kind of what Revan was too. He's just like, I'm not done, so I'm just going to form my own body. I feel like Scion could hate long enough to do it. If it wasn't for Mitra messing that up. Easy peasy. Split my spirit to two. How? What was that a reference to? Where is that? It's under. Oh, Revan. Yeah, pretty much. I can't wait to play that expansion again. It's gonna be great. Anything they do... Okay, I will say that about this game. Anytime Revan was involved, they didn't mess it up. Which makes me really appreciate BioWare. I just wish they weren't headquartered in Austin. I'm not going to relocate to Austin. I would love to work there, but I would hate to live in that city. Let's see. Demolitionist? No. Never understood the leveling down system. Are you actually level 10 power level? Yes. But my gear is also equivalent to being level 17. So I'm down to 17, but it treats it as if I'm in like level 17 epics or blue gear, because that's what I'm currently wearing. So it's in that range. Oh, you want out of Texas? Nah, man. I just bought a house in Texas. I don't want to leave here. I just don't want to go to Austin or Dallas. Like I'm in the San Antonio area, which is not a bad area. Yeah, the heat's been getting a little ridiculous lately. Like in the from 2000 to 2015, it wasn't that bad, but shit started getting a little hotter after that. Kind of sucked. Still sucks. Like when I was moving into this house, it was 97 outside and like 73% humidity. It was ass. I hated it. I felt like I was dying after 5 minutes, but I had shit to do, so I kept going. Yeah, you need to get out of there, bro. I cannot, like, I can tolerate extreme heat. I cannot tolerate extreme cold. I hate that shit. Illinois? Ouch. Yeah. Damn. Yeah. Yeah, we gotta go to the other one first. People here are so fucking stupid. Are they? What's the special breed of stupidity in Maine? They really are. They really are everywhere. But I feel like there are different levels of concentration. There are some places it's a little rougher. Ah, okay. Yeah. And that's why I typically try to steer pretty damn clear of blue states, is because the taxes are insane. And considering California has spent what, $2 billion I think on the railway or something that they're working on in California, and they've only completed 14 feet of it. Like, I would not be convinced my taxes were going where I think they're going. So, fuck that. Ever. It's like, I pay local taxes to, like, city taxes and shit, and then I go outside and I see people patching the road, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's where my taxes are supposed to go. Man, that's like 1995 US. We blamed video games for a while too. We had our moment, especially in the late 90s. I visited Cali, and I will say, the weather is fucking beautiful in California. Taxes? Ass. The cities? Ass. Literally ass. I would, no thanks. I'm good. Okay. Wait, is Maine a blue state? Hold on. Yeah, alright. That tracks, unfortunately. Enjoy, good sir. I'll see you when you return. Yeah. It's probably the same as San Antonio. Like, there's not a lot of spots in San Antonio that are that bad. But the ones that are, steer clear. Like, I try not to dig into politics too much on this channel, but things like what we've already discussed, sometimes they're just so apparent and relevant that to shy away from the topic would just be like putting my head in the sand. And I don't want to do that. But it's definitely not the focus of my channel. I don't know if I could do what Asmongold does in like every day, just sifting through the shit. Because there was a time when I was tapped into politics pretty heavily, and I was not a happy person when I did that. I was always pissed. Like, yeah, both sides are definitely flawed. I agree wholeheartedly with that. And that's part of the reason I was not a happy person when I was very plugged into politics. Never trust the government, and that's coming from a state worker. I mean, I will say, for better or for worse, when it comes to government jobs, though, it's really hard to get fired. I knew some people that were just so freaking incompetent, and there was no way they were gonna get fired.
I'll never be able to prove Lord Gratham was behind the transmissions that allowed her invasion, but it doesn't matter. Everyone who matters knows the truth, and Gratham is already losing influence and followers.
You know, it's funny because like every now and then I think about it. I'm like, how much does state government or even city government employees make? Like, is it worth it? Well, there's the people who process tickets and process. So, for instance, I went to the town hall of a particular city in the San Antonio area, and I looked at what was on the docket for their town hall fucking thing. What is it called? I forget what it's called. When people have a chance to petition for exceptions to city laws and stuff like that. But like, it's literally just handling jurisdiction matters, essentially. So for instance, people wanted to basically appeal to the city to say, hey, you currently have a restriction on putting 2 dwellings on 1 plot of land, and we'd like to make a case for why it would be important for us to have 2 dwellings on our piece of land, and why a manufactured home would be okay to have on this land, even though you have a restriction against manufactured homes, blah, 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 blah. It's like, it's all tedious bureaucratic shit like that. Now that's for like the people who actually work in the town hall. Like, there's construction that is usually under city payroll. So like filling in the road potholes and shit like that. Like, that's the kind of job I wouldn't mind, probably. I like physical labor, personally. But I'm also not as young as I was when I did a lot of it. The last time I worked for the federal government, it was as a lifeguard. That was a great job. Because it paid better than pretty much any other, you know, entry-level job at the time. Like, there was no way I was going to McDonald's or Whataburger or anything like that and getting anywhere near the pay I was getting at that job. But, like, that's when I kind of saw where the fat was in the military. Like, or not in the military, in the government jobs. We had, like, 7, 8 lifeguards on staff for an 8-hour shift. So literally we sat on the stand to watch for drowning people 1 hour out of those 8 hours because we were in rotation. The rest of the time we were sitting in the guard room waiting for something to go wrong, and almost nothing ever went wrong. At the end of the day, we cleaned up and we left. Oh, it's very easy pay. You know how many books I read? I went through the whole Sword of Truth series. I went through the Wheel of Time series. I started writing my first novel. Like, I found shit to do. Flying mounts would be sick. But they definitely don't have large enough maps. Now, I think if they could do like a Star Wars Galaxies jump to light speed kind of thing, like open space travel between planets with like POI stations, like you could have floating ships with nobody on them because some random creature got loose in the ship and killed everything, and you have to go in and kill all those monsters, and at the end you get to loot the ship. Like not BioWare, Broadsword. I will write quests for you. I will write whole scenarios. You don't even have to pay me a lot, okay? You might not even have to pay me at all. I love Star Wars that much. Mass Effect 1 side quest you'd find on the Galaxy map. Yeah, I haven't played Mass Effect yet, but if that happens, if that's a thing, like, that's awesome. I would love that. What am I going? What am I doing? Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be killing Mandalorians. Right, down here. What's my progress on this? Did I already finish this? I don't think I did. I'm confused. This happens when I go off on tangents, like I completely forget what I'm doing. Yeah, I look forward to it. I know BioWare made it, so that gives me a really good idea of what it's like. Oh, did I finish already? Okay. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. I did finish this one. I wish they would hire people like you who actually care for games and the lore. Yeah, well, you know. Yeah.
Please use all products only as intended.
I mean, I wouldn't cost much. I mean, it's like, okay, think about it this way. If you ever heard the story of Michael Jackson's Beat It and Eddie Van Halen playing the guitar solo for that song, funny thing about that story is Eddie Van Halen was working on some stuff in the studio, and Michael Jackson was working on some stuff in the studio nearby, right? And Van Halen at the time was under a contract to be like, hey, you're not allowed to write songs with anybody else other than Van Halen. And well, apparently Michael Jackson just like wanted him to put a solo on Beat It, and nobody else was there, and so Eddie was like, yeah, nobody's gonna know, right? Nobody's gonna hear this song. He's an up and comer. It shouldn't be an issue. Nobody's gonna know I wrote this solo for them. So he goes in, knocks it out on his first try. A few years later, or some time later, however long it took for Beat It to actually come out, he then realizes, oh, well, I guess everybody heard it. But like, it's not everything is about getting paid to do it. Loving Star Wars is not something I need to be paid to do. Pay helps. It's nice. But I'm gonna love Star Wars anyway, you know? Yeah, that's my stance on it. Like, they have voice acting troubles. I'm like, if you're short on English voice actors, please shoot me an email. Like, I'm not gonna be like, I need $50 an hour. No, I need my name in the credits. Like, that's it. That's all I need. I'm okay with that. Something for me to, like, when my son turns like 10, be like, hey, check this out. Do you know how fucking cool I would feel? Oh my God. I'm excited for the Fire Emblem XCOM style Star Wars games in the world. What? There's a Star Wars turn-based strategy coming out? That sounds amazing. Yeah, you really don't need celebrities to do it. Also, nice to see you, devs. Yeah, it's not necessary. There's so many voice actors out there that are really good, noticeable, memorable, that aren't big A-lister celebrities. Like, Christina V would be a really good one to have. Not a lot of people know who she is, but if you've seen 7 Deadly Sins on Netflix, you've heard her voice. She was the little piggy. Like, you would then go watch 7 Deadly Sins or whatever other thing she's in and be like, hey, I've heard that voice before. Tell me, have you ever watched a show that had the voice of Christopher Sabat in it and you didn't immediately think, hey, that's Vegeta? Like, or, hey, that's Zoro from One Piece. Oh, well, okay. If you only watch subtitle, then that makes sense. But still. Exactly. It's releasing August 27th. Oh my God. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Oh, wait. I think it's coming to me. Zero Company? Is that it? Oh, what? Oh, shit. Probably should have finished this quest before I did that. Oh, Mark Hamill. Yeah, there's no replacement for the Joker, really. He will always be the best. There are some voice actors out there who are just like, I'm going to break this role for anyone who comes after me. Like, who could ever play Joffrey in Game of Thrones again? I think there's only one person who was ever allowed to play that role from this point on. And that's the original actor of Joffrey. Exactly. Okay, now that I've finished that, I need to do the Star Wars thing I was looking at. Zero Company. Single player, turn-based tactics games that focuses on squad-based attrition during the Clone Wars. Players command an elite squad through cinematic original operations ranging from sabotage to investigation. Tabletop strategy and board games like Rebellion and Imperial Assault. By the way, Imperial Assault, fucking amazing. I have it. Not in here, but I have it. And it's so much fun. There's so many minis I need to paint. My gray pile of shame is massive. And I also... Have I played Empire at War? No, but I have it. That is also part of my gray pile of shame. 1 second. Oh no, that was Rebellion. I don't think I have Empire at War. 1 second. Let me go see if I can quickly locate my Star Wars board game. Oh, Empire at War. Yes. Yeah, I did it for the May the 4th stream. Love that game. I was thinking board games, but the one on PC, yes. I played that on May the 4th. Alright, no. It's my Star Wars board games are in a box I do not have easy access to right now. Maybe for next stream though. I'll have it out. Because I'll be doing more unpacking tomorrow, of course. Alright, let's see. Next, recover the explosives. I keep hearing about the Star Wars mod for... Well, no, I was thinking Star Citizen. But, yeah, that would be fun. Where did I move from? 15 minutes away. Like, I didn't move very far. I was in the San Antonio area before, and I'm in the San Antonio area still. Now, I will say... I didn't always live in San Antonio. I grew up in my dad was in the military. So I was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I've lived in Jacksonville and Pensacola, Florida. Millington, Tennessee, which is just north of Memphis. Oahu Island in Hawaii. Near Honolulu, and then where else? Yeah, here. And that was it. That was all the places I've lived. I moved here in 2004, and then my dad wanted me to finish high school in the same school, so he stayed here on Lackland and then ended up retiring here. So this is basically where we just ended up planting roots after having moved so many times. And we were very happy with it. Damn you in your backhand. Ay.
That was a fantastic show. That drill just lit up the night. Here's the credits, as promised.
Least liked places. So... I can't say I have a least liked place that I've lived. I like them all for different reasons. Florida, I was really young and don't really remember them a lot. So I can't really say why I did or didn't like them. I think I was 8 by the time we left Florida. Then I went to Millington. No, I went to Hawaii at 8 and was there until 11. I loved Hawaii just because, you know, we went to the lagoons a lot. The recess area we had was freaking awesome. I loved playing kickball at recess. Like, it was all elementary years, so I didn't really have many issues with the place itself. I went to Camp Erdman on Oahu, which actually ended up being the filming site for the show Lost. When they found like the secret organization's buildings on the island. I thought I had recognized those buildings at some point, and then I found out why. And then when I moved to Tennessee, I really liked Tennessee because it had all 4 seasons. And we were extremely lucky we were there when it finally snowed for the first time in 40 years. And it was so much fun. It was enough snow to have fun with and not enough snow to be miserable. So it was a really good experience for me. I made a lot of friends. A lot better, a lot easier than I did before then. Like in elementary school, not a lot of friends. Very few. But in Millington, I actually had a few friends. And then high school, I actually, as much as I felt like an outcast, I really wasn't as much of an outcast as I thought. Like, I had people I talked to, I had friends. It was more like I hung out with the group I hung out with was like a hodgepodge of different interests. Like, there were jock tables, there were preppy girl tables, there was the other skater guys table, right? Our table was whoever just happened to sit there, and it was a few band kids, a few art kids, a few other kids, and it was like, this was kind of my spot. This is my area, right? So my feelings of not being like that popular in high school, I think was just my own insecurities. I actually didn't have anybody at the school, I think, that just didn't like me. I don't think that was a thing. So really liked high school here in San Antonio. College was fun. And I know this is talking about places I've lived, but life happens in phases, right? Like eras. So high school era, pretty cool. College era, better in some ways. I got to really explore different forms of art and music than I did in high school. So that was a really developmental part of my life. I hated college. The part I hated about college was not knowing what the hell I was going to do. I changed my degree like 6 times. It took me... It's gonna sound fucking terrible. It took me 9 years to... 8 to 9 years to get my first degree. And that's just because like I had switched my degrees so many times, and my degrees were so unrelated from each other that it messed it all up. Oh no, wait, 7 years. Sorry, 7 years for my associates, and then 2 more years for my bachelor's. But I would be like, I want to be a physical therapist. Actually, I don't really want to be a physical therapist. I want to do music. Actually, it's not likely I'm going to get paid very well if I do music, so I'm going to go do this thing. And then I'm going to do this thing. And then my bandmate, I was in a band, Athena's Reprieve. We have a few songs. And she was like, hey, I am a technical writer at this company, and based on how you write our lyrics and other writing I've seen you do, I could use you as you know, a fellow technical writer at the company to help me out. And I was like, sure. So I'll switch my degree to that. And then that's what I got. I got my degree in bachelor's in liberal arts with a focus in professional writing. That career has served me quite well. I am still in it. And business is good. So that's kind of my story. But I definitely don't have a place I liked living least. And I think a lot of that was due to the other places I lived in were when I was a kid. And I had a good home life, and I had a fairly decent school life. So I didn't have much to complain about. I have something in heavy equipment operation. Oh, nice. I bet that probably pays pretty well. Yeah, online's better. I would say. I did some of my courses online, especially like summer courses, because I could not handle a 4-class semester. Like, I didn't have the spoons to handle a 4-class semester. So I would do like 2 classes a semester and like 1 flex class during the summer. And that's part of another reason why my college years took so long. But honestly, switching to that kind of schedule saved my college career, because had I kept trying to do 4 classes at a time, I would have just failed out. I have ADHD, like fully diagnosed ADHD, and college unmedicated sucked really bad. I got through it. I actually didn't end up medicating until later in life, so during my current career. But let me tell you, when I finally medicated my ADHD, my career fucking took off. I was like, oh, I can remember things now. And like, I know how to do things. I can see math and understand it now. Like, it was a massive reorganizing of my brain, essentially. So instead of living in this constant fog and feeling absolutely simple, like almost all the time, I felt like a genius. And now I just feel like a decently intelligent human being. And that's okay. That's a very nice place to be. Adderall was... I did... Okay, so I started on Focalin. Then they gave me Adderall. And Adderall worked for a little while, like about a year. But then it just like... It was just too much on my nervous system. Because on top of that, I was vaping like a fucking... like a steamboat. So that didn't help either. So that was, all those things were just aggravating my central nervous system. So one, I switched to Vyvanse, which was way better. And then I quit vaping. So that is putting me into like a very nice equilibrium for my neurochemicals. And it's wonderful. Peace is a lie. There is only passion. Good on you, sir. It was not easy, was it? Yeah, it wasn't for me either. It was a little easier the final time, though. I had tried multiple times, and I got to a point where, like, I was tired of hurting myself with it, essentially. Like, it was like a breakthrough moment. It wasn't I needed to quit because people say it's bad for me. It wasn't I need to quit because people don't like that I do it. This was, I think I'm just hurting myself every day at this point. And I don't want to do that anymore. And that's how I quit. Gotcha. So for me, I've tried it. I've tried weed like a handful of times. I could not with that shit. I remember someone saying that like, oh, it helps with ADHD, and I'm like, not me. It turned my ADHD into a curse. The first time I smoked weed, I sat on the couch for 8 hours. Did not move. Oh yeah, we all definitely react differently. For me, I literally sat there with my head, like my thoughts became movies in my head. They were so vivid and clear, my thought processes. And then when they were done, they would freeze frame and spin away. And then a new movie would start. I wasn't seeing the TV in front of me. I wasn't seeing my friend next to me. I was just in my head for 8 hours. And I was like, I can't do this unless I have 0 responsibilities for the rest of the day. And
I have my Sith spawn. You
I am not the kind of person that does not have responsibilities at all, at any point, at any day. So I don't smoke weed. Oh man, yeah. Oh, that would, whoo, that would be crazy. Yeah, I'm never gonna try that. I remember one other time I smoked weed. It was a very short experience because I was like, I'm going to sleep. I need this to stop. Like, it was, I guess I got too high too fast. I threw up in the kitchen sink immediately. And then, I just felt horribly nauseous. The room was spinning. And then, for some reason, like, you know, the one nice experience I had with weed was that I would feel like I had a pillow suit. I felt very comfy on my skin. Nowhere else. The outside of my skin felt comfy. But I then felt like my bones were glowing. And I looked at my body and I could see them glowing. And I was like, I don't think this is what this is supposed to do. I'm going to sleep. It was trippy as hell. Yeah, way too much. Let's see. Did I finish all of the ones on? I did. Let's go back to Odessen. I would sit on the couch in college and look at the door at the end of the hallway and it turned into a monster. Shit. Now, I will say, okay, this is a little embarrassing. Like I said, handful of times, like this is one of the 3 or 4 times I ever smoked weed. I didn't trust myself to walk down my stairs. So I sat down on my butt and went down a step at a time on my butt. And when I got to the bottom, the action of reaching for the banister to stand myself up and turn unlocked like a core memory in my brain from childhood where I would every morning go down the steps on my butt and get up, and it linked so when I would go to bed as a child, the way I would fall asleep is I would close my eyes and I would envision this sequence of shapes developing in my mind's eye. Like, it was like looking through a kaleidoscope. That's what they're called, right? Where you do the turning thing and the different crystals change spots and make different shapes. That's what I would see in my mind's eye until I drifted off to sleep. I'm like in my 20s when this core memory was unlocked again. And those shapes started going off in my brain. I was like, oh, I thought I lost them. Like, they were back. And then I went to sleep and I never saw them again. I still don't remember what they were. I cannot for the life of me figure out what the sequence of the shapes are anymore. And I've tried so many times. But that was fun. Oh yeah, yeah. The psychoactive element is definitely Pretty crazy. I don't regret it though. It was an interesting experience. I mean, if you had the experiences I did, I understand why you wouldn't like it. But there's some people, dude. There's some people out there who can smoke weed and it barely affects them. It's just like they feel calm and comfy and they're good to go. I'm not that guy. I don't do a lot of shrooms, but when I do, I always get a sense of being in an infinite state where everything feels so new and overwhelming. Oh, infantile state. Oof. Oh, that would be crazy. Wait, I have a very infantile? No, but kind of similar. When I first started Adderall, when it would like kick in, it'd sometimes be this jarring, like semi-vertigo feeling. Like for a second, I'd get a little dizzy, but there were some times for like 5 seconds, I did not recognize anything around me. I was driving when this happened once, and I was like, where am I? What am I doing? How do I drive? I still was driving, like muscle memory took over, but I did not know what the fuck I was doing. It was weird. Again, 5 seconds, and then everything kind of came back, but it was trippy. Oh yeah. Okay, so I had that when I switched from Adderall to Vyvanse. When I didn't realize that Adderall was kind of making things worse after a while. Like it went from being helpful to being frustrating and irritating. And I was kind of in that rut for a while and didn't notice that it was from the medication. So when I switched to Vyvanse, which was much cleaner and much less frustrating to my central nervous system, I felt like I had just woke up. Like I had been in this very, very dense fog for years, and I could pick my head up and go, oh, the trees are so green. This is what outside smells like. Like it was beautiful. It was absolutely breathtaking for that whole day. I was just like, the world is a beautiful place for all these different reasons. And that was just that day, but it was nice. It was really nice. And that was just, I guess that was my central nervous system finally being able to be like calm enough to notice things around me. Because when I was so irritated from that medication, from the Adderall, like I could not get out of my head to literally smell the roses, you know? Yeah. I got that a little bit when I started Adderall, but the Vyvanse was like a stark difference. I don't have enough of those to turn them in. Oh, how am I doing on the Galactic Season stuff? Let's see. That's not a lot. What conquest things can I do to pad this real quick? Complete the mission weekly Star Fortress. Let me see what that is. I might be able to knock that out solo. I was able to talk to people confidently, and I remember thinking, wow, this is what everyone feels like, not social anxiety 24/7. Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. I felt emotions like times 10 always. Like I had this sadness that was just bearing down on the center of my body that was just depressing, right? Or if I got angry, it would feel like acid started just shooting through my veins, and I looked like Tryndamere in League of Legends going into his rage mode. Like that's what it felt like. But after I took the medication, it was like I can feel emotions, but they're not all consuming. And you know, I would explain that to my wife, and she'd be like, "Yeah, that's how that's supposed to feel." And I'm like, I've never felt like that before. If I had an emotion, it affected everything. But once it regulated everything, it was just like, oh, I can be angry and control my actions. I can be angry and actively decide not to hate the person who I'm angry with. I can be sad and realize there will be times I'm not going to be sad. That was a really tough one. Like, man, people say that like there's a lot of people who have different reactions to medications. And I've seen some horror stories, some people who are like, oh, it completely turned me into a zombie. And I'm like, well, if you're comparing the emotional effect I just explained, I could understand why you feel like a zombie. But damn, is it less stressful. Now, I will say, the worst thing I hated the most about being unmedicated was the brain fog. I never felt smart, ever. Honestly, I would do my best, really try hard to memorize things and learn things, and it would just be really difficult. Even with guitar, I could be interested in it, have the motivation to learn it, do the reps, right? Play it for hours. I would still be advancing very slowly just because concepts could not make it through the fog. Once they could, like I look at songs that gave me so much trouble when I played more often, and I can play them much easier now, and I don't play nearly as often. Like maybe 15 minutes a week, and I can pick up parts of like One by Metallica that I couldn't when I was practicing 5 hours a day. Like, it's insanely different. Oh yeah, emotion is a really easy way to derail somebody. And I'm so glad it doesn't have as much of a hold on me as it used to. That comes with a list of other things I also had to fix. When I play...
Welcome back. Everything's all...
No, that's not what I needed. When I had gotten back on the 5 ants, things were getting better, but I was still having issues. And that's when I kind of started looking at other things in my like routines in my life that were not medication. And I was like, I must be eating something that's causing my medication to feel like it's not working, right? Or I'm eating something that's giving me so much brain fog that it's overriding the medication. So I would go like keto and I'd feel great. No carbs, no brain fog. Then I'd fall off the wagon. I eat carbs. Well, I did have one situation that like I stopped eating ramen by accident for a week. And I was like, I feel pretty damn great. And then it dawned on me, I'm like, I haven't had ramen in 6 days. Is this what's doing it? And I did, I made a bowl of ramen and I said, okay, if I feel like shit after this is the problem. Ate it, felt like shit for 2 days. I was like, oh, I don't eat ramen anymore. That is not a good idea for me. Soda, I've cut down as well. I will have like 2 cans of Coke a day instead of 7. I am, carb fog is a motherfucker. But it also made me like irritable. Like the ramen, like I was cranky as shit for 2 days. And I did not like that. Yeah, we still eat McDonald's and Whataburger here and there. But I've kind of found myself getting chicken options rather than burgers lately. And that's helping. Okay, where's the weekly Star Fortress? Let me go to Control G, solo. Culver's, that's good custard though. Oh yeah. I usually go to Freddy's. I didn't grow up on Culver's, so that's the only reason. But I think my parents did. I think my wife did too. I think they had Culver's up in Michigan. Guess where she's from. Mainly a Midwest thing. Okay. Where is this weekly? Wait, can I access it through Galactic Seasons? Hold on. I saw it. Where is it? Oh, it was a Conquest one. Okay, hold on. Oh, I have to do 6 Star Fortresses? No, absolutely not. Hell no. That is ridiculous. Oh, really? Wow. I love Whataburger. I never get sick from it. But, you know, we're all different. All of our gut microbiomes are definitely different. Let's see. What's a better way to get conquest? Yeah, conquest. Iocath Patrol. Daily missions on McKeb. That's gonna take too long. Come on now. Flashpoint. Objective Meridian on any difficulty? Where's the door? I can just go do it solo. Hold on. On the Fleet White Nova ship. Got it. Depends how long it's been since you've had fast food and what you eat. Yeah, definitely. My buddy who's like 46 had McDonald's for the first time in 20 years and it sent him to the hospital. Jesus. Man. Wow. Salt. I'm a salt monger. That's a problem. But then again, from what I hear, from what I've heard from people who study it, is like if you eat a shit ton of salt, apparently your body regulates it pretty well. Like we'll just excrete the excess of salt in your system. But I'm not entirely sure. Where's the interfleet transport? Where's mission departures? Go this way. Oh, I see. I see. Spicy chicken sandwich one time and you almost passed out from stomach pain that night. Wow. The only thing that ever gave me food poisoning was you know those Jimmy Dean like breakfast scrambled eggs cups? Like everything you need to make scrambled eggs with cheese and sausage and stuff like that, it's in the cup and you just microwave it. Usually amazing. For some reason though, I had one of the turkey, it was turkey sausage one or something like that. It was mainly egg whites. And the egg whites I think just did not cook fully through. And that was the worst case of food poisoning I had ever had. And it was in the middle of flying back home. So that sucked really, really bad. Interfleet transport, dropship, outbound. Interfleet transport. That's how I get to White Nova. Probably thawed at the warehouse and somewhere in between the manufacturing. It's very possible.
Displaying all authorized destinations. Travel route is confirmed.
Yeah, it sucked. Other than that, I don't usually get sick from food. It's very particular which foods make me sick. I am allergic to shellfish, which really sucks. Because I can tell you, shrimp boils and like crawfish boils, they smell amazing. But they are death. They are death for me. I cannot eat one. Oof. I have luckily never had any issues with sushi. And I am very thankful for that because I absolutely love salmon. And eel. Eel is really good too, especially with eel sauce. All right, is this it? Objective Meridian. There we go. I don't think I've done this ever. Did I have to do it on veteran? Oh, any difficulty. Well, if I'm just checking it out, we'll do story. Oh, wait. Maybe I did do this one and I just did not know what I was doing. I did do this one. Yep. Okay. It was when I just came back to the game.
Enemy artillery incoming!
Where? Damn, looks like I'm just landed on Omaha Beach. Ow! That didn't work.
Push up! We need to get off this beach. We're sitting banthas out here.
Oh, where's my god bot? I need to pull that out. Well, actually, I really don't need them. I'm doing just fine. Last few times I did some shots, got torn up the next day. I don't drink alcohol anymore. I can't do it. I used to do it a lot because I was one of those people who like drank alcohol, and up until like maybe 14 drinks in, you couldn't tell he drank alcohol. But then I had a phase where I could get drunk pretty fast. And was a very happy drunk. After that phase, though, I hit a phase where it was like, I would get drunk pretty quick, and then I'd be miserable the entire time. And I was like, this ain't it. I'm good. I don't need this anymore. Took a break from it for like years. And then I pulled up a, I got some screwdrivers, like Smirnoff screwdrivers, because I love them. They're delicious. And I had 2. Woke up the next morning, felt like I'd been hit by a truck. I was like, oh, alcohol is no longer a thing for me. Like ever. I might have 1 or 2 drinks a year. And it'll be like toasting somebody at a celebration. But that's it. Oh, dude. Let's talk about acid reflux. That has been the bane of my existence for a good, 15 years-ish. Like, it didn't really start happening until high school. And high school, it was because I was so, like, socially nervous and insecure and just...
You're approaching the main Republic defensive line. Be prepared for heavy resistance.
Stressed out all the time that I had ulcers pretty regularly. But now I can eat just about anything and I will get acid reflux. And there's multiple possibilities as to why that is. It's because my body just doesn't like carbs in general. If I eat carbs, I'm going to get acid reflux. If I go keto or hell, even carnivore and eat just meat, I rarely get acid reflux. Was it gonna go with that next? But I'm trying to like literally curate what are things I can have that are still a balanced diet that won't give me acid reflux. And yes, red sauce is spaghetti, pizza. It doesn't like me, even though I love it. So I try to space out how much I have that stuff. Yeah, no ramen, absolutely. Ramen turns me into a pregnant woman. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, this is my normal gut, right? Okay, this is me relaxing my gut. Not that big, right? Me on ramen, it's like out here. It's ridiculous. Like, something happens in my stomach with ramen that turns me into a balloon. So I cannot eat that shit anymore. Got these pills that he takes once a day and his acid reflux goes away. I had one. It was pantoprazole, I think it's called. I had that when I had my ulcer. But I think you're only supposed to take it for so long because it would affect how my body absorbs my my other medications. So I can't take it as often. I can't take it every day for sure. But I probably should actually talk to somebody about like an acid pump inhibitor that won't affect Vyvanse very much and see if that's a possible option for me because I like to sing and having constant acid reflux is not good for that. I still sing pretty well, but I can tell the toll that the acid reflux has had over the years. What the? It reset itself. Yeah, if you can find out what that particular pill is, I would like to know. And I was not paying attention. I got nuked. Self-destruct sequence. So were they droids blowing up? Okay. All right, Christopher, have a good night. It was great talking to you. Hope to see you next time. I'll be back on Monday night. I also stream Friday and Saturday nights. So, catch you later, man. Subscribe if you want notifications that I'm going live. Oh, it's those little droids, huh? Okay, okay. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. I appreciate that, sir. They're probably gonna see me. Yeah. Yeah, it was worth a shot.
You're near the industrial monorail that services the spire. If it is still operational, it will be the fastest way inside.
Alrighty, man. Have a good night. Nice to meet you. I'll catch you in the next one, man.
Invaders, you defile our home. I'm channeling the Force into you. Let it rejuvenate you.
Where is it? It says there's an elevator here. Oh.
Now that you're inside, find a way up to the control room. You can disable the facility's shields from there. We'll keep any reinforcements off you.
Oh, I was supposed to stay in there. Okay, alright. I was supposed to go this way. There we go. Got the angle. Oh, here it is. I think I'm done after this one. Getting pretty late. I am hurt.
You'll have to head for the top of the spire. Master controls for the shields were moved up there.
Woo! There's a few of y'all.
We will stop here now. The Force is with me! Attack as one! We can win!
No,
Attack
force
as
push,
one!
of course.
We can win!
Got her. Okay, my conquest points are great. Oh, still need 54 more enemies killed with failings out. Pretty close on this one too. Well, it's late. I must go to sleep. So anybody still watching, thank you for being here. And have a wonderful morning, day, evening, and good night. I'll catch you all in the next stream.